I think, one of the important factors of being a teacher, which is having resilience. You've got to have resilience. You've got to be a resilient teacher. If you're going to crumple at the first sign of a student resisting you, or if you're going to show weakness to a whole class of 18-year-olds, or if you're going to let a class of university students determine whether you're going to succeed at doing something, that's really the wrong approach, because you've got to be strong. You've got to be strong. You've got to believe in yourself. Nobody else is going to believe in you, especially when you're in a foreign country. Your experience in your job, in your classroom, is very unique to yourself, to your own experience. You can meet a friend for a coffee, or you can meet a friend for a beer, but they're not there in the classroom with you. They're not going to understand precisely the dynamics that you're experiencing. And look, when you're teaching in a university, for example, your manager isn't going to be usually particularly interested in having a heart-to-heart with you and trying to sort out some of the problems that you're having. So you really have to be strong. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to think, you know what, I'm a good guy, I'm doing a good job, and you have to face it. You have to face the class, and you have to face the students. The most common strategies I use in order to build rapport with the students is to show a genuine interest in where they come from. China's such a big country, and the students are very, very, very interested in where they come from. They're very interested in where they come from. And it's similar to me, or it's similar to a lot of people. It's similar to most people, I guess. When I first went to university, I was so proud of my hometown, and I wanted to tell everybody about it. And I remember, I think I was 21 or 22, and I was at a party. These older guys, I guess they're in their 30s, and they showed me this book. And in the book were these photographs of all of these little towns. And the towns were quite similar to my town, and that's when it dawned on me that where I came from actually wasn't that special. But this isn't about my hometown. It is in some ways a special place, but you get my meaning, So if you show an interest in the students' hometowns, and that's a really good way to build rapport. So what I like to do is to get them presenting about their hometowns straight away, about their home provinces straight away. And what's quite interesting actually is that in Australia, if you said to me, what's the bridge like where you come from? Before I came to China, I would have been like, it's just a bridge. But in China, the students, a lot of them are very proud of their bridges. They're very proud of their bridges. They're very proud that they're so strong and they're so big. And the bridges are very, very important to them. They're a source of regional pride. And then the regional food, the regional delicacies. And there's usually a story in every Chinese city. A historical event took place. So they're very interested in sharing those stories. So that's, I think, the best way to build rapport with the students. And then every teacher is going to say this, learning their names. I'm not clever enough to learn their Chinese names. Usually, I can remember one or two perhaps, but I can't learn 120 or 150 Chinese names in a semester. It's not going to happen. Their English names, by making a list, by making a WeChat group, and having that list there on your computer and asking them questions, at least giving the impression that you know their names, that goes a long way as well. They really, really, really do get off on you remembering their English names. So that's another good way to build a rapport. And just to kind of share your, I guess, fascination with the country, and in a sense your I guess you're not getting into politics, but your affection for the country. Like I always say, and I truly believe this, I always say, China's such a big country. It's such a big, beautiful country. And it's really, really interesting. Like, it's so interesting. Like, and when you say this stuff and you share this fascination with China with the students, they kind of, it appeals to them. They like the idea of their English teacher having a very deep interest in their country. So Yeah, I mean, you always have to be professional. You always have a certain manner to inspire confidence in just about any context in life. So I'm not teaching anybody about that, but I just mean that you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in who you are, and you've got to believe that what you're doing is important and that it can really help the students. Like you can't let yourself be pushed around or have the structure of the course dictated to you by the students. Um, it's just not advisable.